Good morning, everyone. My name is Muhammed Shahabas, and today I'll be talking about tokens in C++, which are the smallest yet most important parts of a C++ program. Think of tokens as the alphabet of programming. Without them, no code can exist. In this short seminar, I'll walk you through the different types of tokens, how they work, and why understanding them make you a better programmer. Understanding tokens. Let's begin with what exactly a token is. In simple terms, tokens are the smallest individual units of a C++ program. Just like how a sentence is made of words and punctuation, a C++ program is made up of tokens. Every keyword, operator, or even punctuation mark that you see in the code is considered a token. They are what the compiler recognizes first when it reads our program. For example, if you write a line like int x equal to 5, the compiler breaks it into separate tokens. The keyword int, the identifier x, the operator equal to, the literal 5, and the punctuator semicolon. So tokens basically help the compiler understand what each part of the code means and how they fit together. Punctuators overview. Now let's talk about punctuators. Punctuators are the tiny symbols that bring order and structure to our code. They help separate elements and define where one part of the program ends and another begins. For example, curly braces are used to mark the beginning and end of function or a loop. Parentheses are used when we call a function or define its parameters. Semicolons mark the end of a statement. Even the comma has meaning. It separates variables or parameters in the list. Without punctuators, a C++ program would be one long, confusing line of text. So they play a huge role in maintaining clarity, organization, and readability of code. Identifiers in C++. Next, let's move to identifiers. Identifiers are the names we give to variables, functions, arrays, classes, or any user-defined item in a program. They are what allows us to refer to data or functions by name rather than by memory location. There are a few rules to remember. An identifier must begin with a letter or an underscore. It can contain numbers but no spaces or special symbols. And it can't be a reserved keyword like int or while. For example, count, total marks, or value are valid identifiers, while to, total, or my value are invalid. Good identifiers make code readable and meaningful. So instead of writing a or x1, it's better to name a variable average score or total amount. Understanding literals. The next type of tokens is literals. Literals are constant fixed values that do not change during the execution of a program. Whenever you assign a specific value directly in code, that's a literal. There are several types of literals in C++. Integer literals such as 10 or minus 15, floating point literals such as 3.14 or 0.005, character literals like a, string literals such as hello world inside a double column. These are used to give initial or constant values to variables. For example, in int age equal to 18, the number 18 is a literal. Literals make code clear, efficient, and predictable, since their values never change. Operators in C++. Now let's discuss operators, which are among the most powerful tokens in C++. Operators are special symbols that perform operations on variables and values. C++ provides many kind of operators. Arithmetic operators like plus, minus, star, and slash helps us perform mathematical calculations. Relational operators such as double equal to, less than, greater than, compare two values and return a Boolean result either true or false. Logical operators like and, not, etc. allows us to make combine or reverse conditions in decision-making statements. For instance, if we write if a greater than b and b greater than 0, we are checking two relational conditions together using a logical operator. Operators make programs dynamic and intelligent by enabling complex expressions and decisions. So, recap of tokens. Finally, let's recap what we learned. Tokens are the fundamental building blocks of every C++ program. They include punctuators, which structure and separate code, identifiers, which give names to program components, literals, which provide fixed values, and operators, which perform actions and comparisons. Together, these tokens form a vocabulary of C++. Understanding them helps us write cleaner, more efficient, and error-free code. So the next time you look up at a C++ program, try to identify each token. Because once you understand how these small pieces work, the bigger picture of programming becomes much clearer. Thank you for listening to my seminar on tokens in C++, and I hope this session helped you understand the basic structure of every C++ program.